Yeah, I'm from Oxford. I just live outside of Oxford in the UK. I've been a photographer now, I guess, for about 11 years, something like that. But I started out using Photoshop. That's how I was kind of, I got recognised, how I got started. So I had an uncle. I never intended to be a photographer anyway, but I had an uncle who was a photographer in my family, and he knew that I loved computers. And one day he's at my mum's house, he had his laptop and he's working on some pictures. He said, "Glyn, come and look at this." And I looked at it and he says, "Look, I can get rid of red eye." And he went, "Click." I was like, "Wow, that is amazing." And he was using Photoshop. So I then got hold of Photoshop and then just started using it. I came to America, I went to Photoshop World, and then I just started to get more work. It just seemed to happen. I got noticed, and then over time, when I was retouching other people's work, over time I then started to think I need to do my own pictures, and it's kind of just grown from there. But I've been very lucky with the people that I've got to know and meet, made some great connections. So I do work for the BBC and for Sky. So yeah, I do commercial work, I do training, I do a whole mix of things. But yeah, I absolutely love it.
Choices.
All right, let's have a go at this. So I think this is my number one.
Why is it?
It kind of speaks for itself. I need to know that I'm taking pictures, and what I see at the time and I capture, I need to know that that's being truly represented when I'm working on them on the computer. Because then I send it to the printer, I don't want any surprises. I need consistency, so that will give me consistency. All right, so the next one, I think, now you explain this to me, Jason. So I think having your explanation, this one here, because there are times when you look at your monitor, you might be slightly offset. You're not always sitting like this, and I might have a client come in and look at the monitor from the side. Now, as you're explaining this to me here, to not see any kind of change as you're looking at the different viewing angles, that seems really important to me. Very, very important. So I like that. Now we're getting tricky. So okay.
I lost count. So how many stickers?
That's
do you
two
have
so
left?
far.
Okay.
I could have lied then, but it's only two so far. So the next thing I think is going to be, I think panel size. Panel size is important to me, and the reason for that is I don't sit with my screen right up here. I like to have it a little bit away from me. I'm getting to the age now where the eyes need a bit of help, so I can have it nice and far away. But even though it's far away, I'm still seeing plenty of size, plenty of detail. The camera I'm using captures a lot of detail, so a nice big monitor, I get to see everything nice and clear.
What's the minimum size that you can accept?
I would think that 27 would be the minimum size at the moment.
No going under 27 for you?
I don't think so. I think I did actually start at a 24-inch when I started, and that was great. But the actual design of my layouts in my office was different then. Now we've got a different desk, it goes back a bit, and I'm actually putting things on the wall. I'm putting the monitors on the walls now. So the bigger size gives me more options and more flexibility for how I lay out my office.
But what about 32-inch?
I love the 32-inch.
Yeah, you don't find it too big?
I don't find it too big, no. I think sometimes if you're connecting a big monitor and then you're dual monitoring to another one, the 27, that can make a few discrepancies. But for working on it, I definitely don't find it too small. Absolutely not. I think, I would say for me, 32 would be the optimum size. I wouldn't want to go any bigger than 32.
Yeah, but many years back, one would think 27 is the optimum size.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
What if we come up with a 35-inch in the future or 34-inch?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying no now, but then I know that if I see it, I'll be like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm going to stick with that for now.
Okay, that's fine.
Who knows what the future will bring? Who knows what the future will bring?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So the next one, and this is something that I love the idea of, is hardware calibration. I would love hardware, because obviously we calibrate our monitors, we use a third-party bit of hardware to plug in. I use the actual BenQ's provided profiling software.
Yes, Palette Master Elements.
Palette Master Elements, and I actually put it into the system level as opposed to software level, and I think that's perfect. But sometimes connecting another bit of software hardware in, I don't know if that's still working correctly. Sometimes is it getting old, or if I know this is built into the monitor, it's part of the monitor, then if it's part of the monitor, then it's going to be more accurate, I would say.
Yes.
And I don't have to worry about losing anything or anything breaking. It's just there and it works, and I can just quickly apply it as and when I need it.
And the profile is saved into the monitor directly, so you can change your system, your PCs or your laptop. It will not come into effect with the profile, so it's already saved. into
Wow,
one. So
okay. Didn't think of it like
calibration
that.
1 or calibration 2.
Okay, so yeah, maybe that. Okay, that's an important one, all right? I do want that as an
Yes.
important one. Now, I think this is my last one.
Yes.
I think my last one. So now let's have a look. I'm going to go for this one here. The ability to not have a rigid monitor, to be able to go up and down, and at times when you can do this when you're looking at long documents, because I don't just use the monitor for editing, I can use it for reading long PDF documents and stuff like that. That's good. But I certainly, when I'm working on my, if I'm doing live feeds and video, I have a video attached to the top of this monitor here, and my seat, the video will be too high, so I can bring the monitor down and it's perfect high level while I'm doing the video. So that one there is an important one, and especially when we're sitting at the screens for a long time, to look after the old back. Now I'm pretty, now the monitors I've got, there's so much in there that I wouldn't use and I don't use, and that's not because I don't find it useful, it's just that I personally don't have a certain, it's not in my workflow. However, the things I do use are great for me. But with the monitors, I use it in the Adobe RGB colour space, so 99% RGB, Adobe RGB. One thing that's really important to me is having a hood, a shade. I love having a shade. Sometimes I want them to be a little bit deeper, but I love having a shade, that's really important. And there's like the picture mode, because sometimes I might be working on a picture, I never shoot in black and white, but sometimes I might think, will that work in black and white? Now I don't have to then go to Photoshop and go press D to default black and white colours, then go to a gradient map and then do that and add a layer to it. I don't know. I can literally just go like this, because we've got the hot book.
Yes,
I don't tend to use that. I just literally come underneath the monitor and do that. That's just the way I am. But I can literally just press a button like that and I can see it in black and white. Do I want it to be in black and white? I don't know. But it's a very quick way, literally just like that, rather than adding layers in Photoshop that I can check it. So those things really are what I like about the monitor. Plus, the colours are accurate. End off. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Not necessarily features, it's the fact that the colours are accurate.
Yeah.
Now that chops and changes for everybody. Some people say set it for once a month, what have you, but my own way of doing things now is that if I'm ever going to send, because I don't print myself, I always send it to a lab. If I'm going to do any printing or want it to be sent something to a printer's, I always calibrate it before I go through the soft proofing. So I might calibrate it today, I then go through some soft proofing and I'll send it to my preferred lab. If tomorrow I've then got some more pictures that I think, right, I want to get these printed, I will calibrate it again. Maybe that is overkill, I don't know, maybe that's too much, but I'm getting the results I want, and that's important. So, and I don't know, sometimes maybe you could accidentally knock something and that could change it. I know when I do my soft proofing, the colours are bang on. Yeah, and I never thought I'd ever say that. But yeah, I'm an author now. I've got, see, even that sounds strange, but I'm an author. I've got there's 2 books are out. They're on Amazon. The first one, the Photoshop workbook. Really happy that became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. We've got the Photograph Like a Thief, which was the second book. And I've just finished the 3rd book, which will be out in, I believe, October this year, October 2018. And that's called the Photoshop Toolbox. In the 3rd book, no, there's no recommendation. In the 2nd book, which is a big book, Photograph Like a Thief, that's the one that I recommend. This is what I use, because a lot of people want to know that. So rather than me saying, here's a picture, we're going to work through the retouching, I go, right, this is the kit I need. And I don't just talk about the camera stuff. I say, right, here's the camera, here's the lighting, but then we move on, obviously, into the retouching, and I say, here's the software I use, here's the tablet I use, and obviously the monitor. This is the monitors that I recommend. So I've got this smaller monitor, I've got this bigger monitor, but these are the ones I use, which obviously happens to be BenQ. So yeah, there you go. So
Yeah,
I do
over the
recommend it.
years you did so much talking and speaking, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there's quite a following. So they would really appreciate like you sharing what kind of gears, products you use, and
Yeah,
they will follow.
I get. And one thing, Jason, one thing I've really made a point of doing whilst I've been doing this is building a business and a reputation on trust. Because one thing, we all see it sometimes. There are people who they're obviously in this to make money, and one day they'll be using a certain piece of kit, and they'll say, "Oh, use this." The next week they've been given another bit of kit, and say, "Oh, now use this." And it's like they keep changing what they're using. So, and that's something I never do. I have companies sometimes approach me and say, "Oh, would you use this for us, or could you do this?" I'm like, "I wouldn't use that." Now the monitors, I'm not just saying that because we're talking now. I have used other monitors in the past, and I've lost quite a bit of money when they weren't working. We got talking. I'm using BenQ monitors, and I recommend BenQ monitors. It's as simple as that, because they do what they say on the tin. They've not let me down. That's why I've moved certain camera brands, because they don't let me down. So thankfully, I've got a reputation of trust, and when I say I recommend you try this, people tend to kind of have a look at it. So.